Hey Crushers, Young here, and I'm bringing you a new Crush Them All video. Today's video is going to be the third video in my series covering some of the best rune choices for some of the more popular heroes in Crush Them All. Today's video will be covering player versus player heroes. Before we get started though, as always, if you have any questions or comments after watching this video, I would encourage you to leave them in the comments section below, or reach out to me through the official Discord, which you can reach through the settings of the game located here in the community section. I would also ask you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. That way you can catch all my videos when they come out and stay up to date on all the latest Crush Them All news and information. Before I get started with today's video, I wanted to thank all of you for being patient over this past week waiting for an upload. We had a death in the family and I had a funeral to attend. The other thing that I wanted to briefly mention is that today's video will be different than the previous two videos in this set, in that I'll be covering several groups of heroes that should be given the same exact rune sets. If you look in the description below, you'll see where each hero covered in this video is located, and I'll be sure to mention all of the heroes covered as I get to them. Now, without further ado, let's get started. We'll be starting with the King of PvP, and the King of PvP is Seigfried. And knowing what runes to put on him is going to be pivotal for his performance. These rune choices are also going to be solid for other heroes such as Skeleton Giant, Gladiator, and Spike. Due to how hit points are calculated in Arena, which is base hit points, add runes, then this total gets multiplied by 10, and then after this you add in your total 4-star abilities as an additive amount, which would be this here, gets added on afterwards. This means that the HP from runes is going to be the most important factor for a frontline melee unit. Seigfried and friends are no exception to that. Vitality runes with HP primary traits are going to be essentially non-optional. What is optional, though, is the second set of runes. Splash runes maximize on the Area of Effect 2-star ability. However, splash runes are generally speaking weak when looking at how much AoE the runes offer for their set bonus. I'd only recommend them if you can use them to help propel your AoE to greater than 100%. Generally speaking, anything that you'll want to run with an AoE primary in a different set, such as damage runes with AoE primary, or even HP primary with damage runes. That would be a good alternative set here. If you can increase the splash zone up to 60 to 70% or better, you'll get enough general coverage to hit some of the backline heroes when doing your 2-star ability attacks. However, while covering this group of heroes, we will take a better look at Spike, because the only exception to the secondary sets here would be for Spike. Spike has a base 10% stun chance on all of his attacks, and a 30% stun chance on his 2-star ability, Heavy Blow. You could put stunning runes to increase the stun chance, but personally I'd run dazed runes to increase the stun duration. If you use dazed runes, if they have stun duration primaries, that would be best, but attack is a good alternative primary trait. The next heroes that we'll be looking at, the next grouping we'll be looking at, will be the Splash Gunners in this group. So specifically we're looking at Pirato, Scud, and Monki Mortar. Putting it plainly, they could all run virtually the same exact set. Damage runes with attack primary, or AoE primary, and for the second set, Swift with attack primary is preferred, but again, AoE primary could also be used, or attack speed could be used for the primary if that's what you have to work with. They all feature an already decent AoE spread for the base amount, so there isn't really much of a reason to increase it further. Pirato can be used for freezing, being a water type hero, if you add on chilling runes. So, and I mean, this is what I would say would be your primary rune set: chilling for your first set, and then attack with, chilling with attack primary is what I would use, or HP as I'm using here. But chilling runes with attack primary, and then damage with attack primary is what I'd recommend for Pirato. Next, we'll be taking a look at Onyx. Not in a grouping. Onyx, we'll get a slightly more focused look here. Increasing her area of attack greater than 100% allows you to hit virtually all of your enemy units. Damage runes with AoE and Vitality with AoE is preferred for her, though you can use splash runes like I am if that's what you need to for your second set so that you can break 100%. The next heroes that we'll be looking at will be a group of heroes, Chaos and Magmus. Thankfully, you can rune them exactly the same, and they're very straightforward. You want Vitality runes with HP or attack primary, and damage runes with HP or attack primary. These two units represent the precipice of what it means to be a tank, and you'll want your runes to reflect that. While on the subject of tanks, we will now be taking a look at Leafblade. So, while on the same tangent, I'll mention that Leafblade here, you'll want to run him with as much HP as possible. He's not a damage dealer, so don't try to use him as one. Vitality runes with HP primary are what you're going to want to use for your first set, and flanks runes with HP primary, which I only have the one there, but that's what you're going to be wanting to use. Vitality is the focus here, as you want him to survive as long as possible before he uses his auto shield ability, and flanks runes only work in relation. A knight's shield HP is scaled directly based on their HP after calculation, so you want to increase your base HP as much as possible and then move on from there. The next grouping that we'll be looking at is going to be Monki Roboti and Mecha Valken. Both of these heroes have a strong base area of attack, which you can increase to viable ranges rather easily by running runes like Vitality with AoE, or what's the other one? Damage with AoE. I don't have the runes to spare for these heroes personally, so I use the next best thing, which is damage with attack or HP primary, and Vitality with either attack or HP primary. If you're lucky and get some attack range as a secondary rune trait, that would help either of these heroes not being prioritized by the enemy. And then finally, for today's video, we will be taking a look at Vlad, the undead healer. Vlad's healing ability is directly tied to his DPS, or damage per second, so maximizing his damage potential is vital here. Swift runes with attack secondary traits and damage rune with attack secondary traits are easily the best possible combinations here. Make some sacrifices here if you must to get your Vlad as strong as you can, because his healing factor is going to make him to be a force to be reckoned with when you have it. And that is all I have for today's video, guys. I would like to take a moment to thank Pookie, Monki, and Albie, who all contributed to today's video, and I appreciate the continued support of all of you watching. Thank you.